Okay, how's it going, guys? I've never done a video like this before, so bear with me. Comments I'll try to answer, but for the most part, I am just going to try to um, mod a weapon into Blade and Sorcery. The last tutorial I've seen of this was for the previous versions, and a couple of things have changed, and there were a lot of things that weren't really specified that I failed to pick up on, so for the longest time I was messing up. Um, so obviously first thing you need is you need the SDK for whichever version you're using, whether it's the U6 or the U7 beta. I have the beta. For the beta you want to use Unity 1, well that's a good question. Let me pull that up real quick. I do have it on display capture because I will be switching. You'll want 1.14 for U7, and then I don't remember what it is for, I think it's no, that's not it. It might be this one for, it's either the 27 or the 2018. It should tell you when you get it, but for the most part, this point forward, you're going to be using 1.14 because that is the next version coming out. So I've already gotten my model in. What you want to do is I put it in its own folder. So I got my model. I put all my textures on it. I'm not very good at that stuff, so I was fumbling around for like 30 minutes trying to figure out what to do. Once you got the weapon, you probably want to resize it first. So spawn in a dagger, move it to 0, 0, 0. And then my model also needs to be positioned at 0. There you go. So this thing is supposed to be like a hand and a half almost with the hammer. Rotate on the C. Yeah. It's the lights don't really help me here. Okay. So for the most part, my hammer's not too terribly size strong. I know this dagger's pretty large, so I will scale it down a bit. What I like to do is I scale it on one side till it's about right, and then just copy and paste the scale to the other two so that you keep your proportions. If you want to mess with proportions, that's on you. I don't think anyone would mind too much. I think a little smaller might be good. I'm not entirely good on scale because I have a katana the size of a whole map. So, but once I realized I forgot to scale it, I kind of kept it because it was fun to use. And that's the whole point of modding. Modding weapons for yourself, make it fun for you. So that should be good. We can get rid of this. Another thing I kind of completely went over. You want to make a empty, create an empty right here, and then name it your weapon, what you're going to name your weapon, and then put your models under that. You also want to unpack. This is something I completely forget to do every time. You want to unpack your model. So now that you got that, you want to go to your parent file, what you named as your weapon. You want to add a component. You want to add item definition. That should spawn 3 new things here. For item ID, you want to put whatever you want to ID your weapon as. So that's what I do. Well, I do a C underscore. But so you got this. Now with your holder point, from what I understand, what I've gotten from all the tutorials I've watched, this is where, when you put it on the rack or on your belt, where it holds it at. And then the blue arrow is what is pointing down. So for my hammer, I want the Z or the blue arrow pointed down. So I think that's That's not y-axis. I think that's z. Nope, it is x. I know these things. I just use easy. There's a rotate tool up here if you want to use that. I'm not the greatest with that. So the way this should now hold is the head is up, the handle is down, and it holds it right here. Oop, I wanted to just do that. And then refocus. And then the parry point is where you want to parry attacks with, from what I understand. I haven't really found anything really changes when you move it around, but something's probably changing and I'm just dumb. And then your preview is what you will see in the book. The dark blue arrow, that one is where the viewer is. So you'd be right here looking at it. So you got those out of the way. Next thing you want to do, create an empty inside of your parent and name it colliders. And then in here, you want to make another empty. And then for mine, I'm going to have the handle and the head. So I have handle. Oh, not an empty inside of that. And then another empty inside of colliders and name it head. So now in the handle, I'm going to create an empty just for reference for right now. But in the handle and the head, you want to add a component collider group. For the handle, I'm not going to imbue magic. For the head, I will. So imbue magic, you got your item collider groups for your handle and the head. And now with this one, I'm going to name it handle again. I'm going to add a component. And then for the handle, I like to use capsule colliders. This is what tells the game that there's something there and that it should not face through the ground. So you want to line that up. Oop, refocus, zoom in a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. The closer you get, the better. Colliders can intersect with each other, so I'm going to just pull this handle up into the head like that, so there's no gaps. And then that's fine. That doesn't affect it too much. And that's where I'm going to be holding it anyways. I am going to drag the left side in a little bit. There we go. And right side out a tiny. Not that much. There we go. That's good. So I got the handle done. That was easy for mine. Some handles are a little more complicated. The more colliders you have, the better, the more accurate it gets. You just want to make sure that they intersect, otherwise there will be gaps in between where, say if I did do two separate colliders right here, if I can zoom in, right here, if I did two separate colliders and one of them ended right here, the other started here, a weapon could go straight through the handle. Not that that'd really matter because this is so far low and I don't think I'm going to be parrying this low, but it's still something you want to kind of pay attention to. So you got that. That's the handle. Now for the head, I'm going to do the same thing. This one I will probably do 3 different colliders, maybe 4. Yeah, I'll do 4. I'm going to do the middle. Nope, I didn't want to select children. I wanted to create empty. Right side. And for faster renaming, it's F2 instead of just right click rename. You can just hit F2. Create an empty. Left side. And then spike. So I'll do the spike first. That'll be easiest. Spike, I'll do another capsule. Oop, if it'll let me edit it. It doesn't want me to edit it. There we go. So we drag that. I'm going to make it about like that. I'm not going for anything super special. So this spike, I don't think there's a pyramid collider. I wish there was. Yeah, there's no pyramid. Actually, just search colliders. Yeah, there's no pyramid. For the most part, you will only be using box and pyramid. Occasionally a sphere collider. I don't understand the wheel collider. No one has explained it to me, and the one person who mentioned it said he had no clue what it was. And then where is it? The mesh collider. That takes a lot of resources, so I would never recommend using that. Especially in a VR game. So my spike, I really just want it to be kind of like that. Move it a bit. It's not exactly centered. I'm having trouble understanding what the spike is supposed to look like. Maybe I want to make it a little skinnier. I won't release this unless people really want it, because I mean, it's going to be rather lazy, and this is something that I just want it. Pull it down a tiny bit, and that should be good. There will be no collision on this specific spot. However, because my head is right here, it will glide with the head, and it won't be too much because I'm not going to hold someone there. So now the middle. For the middle, I'll use a box glider. I'm going to drag it up. And then edit. I'm going to drag you down. About like that. Drag you up. And the sides. Now we're going to look at it from above. And drag you guys in. There we go. That's the middle. I didn't realize how the middle kind of curves in, but like I said, I'm not too concerned. For the heads, for the left and right side, I don't think I'm going, because I could do a box here, and a box there. Or I guess one box and then another. You know what, I might do that just to, because like I said, the more the better. So I'm going to create, I'm actually just going to duplicate my right and left side. For the right side, I will add a box. Not that it even matters right or left, because I mean, I'll get turned around anyways while making this. So you kind of want to look at it as close to head on as possible. There we go. Drag the tops down. Look at it from over here now. I'm gonna do, that was too far. I'm gonna do this part first. Drag this down a little bit. That should be good. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let's delete these. I'm going to duplicate this one. Name this one left. Because what I will do is I'll just drag this collider over, and it should fit, assuming my model is symmetrical. Oops. Although now that I'm looking at it, this part is a little long. Yeah, that should be good. And do the same thing here. Drag this side in a tiny bit. Okay, and now I'm going to create an empty because I deleted the other two. I'm going to name this one right 2. I'm going to add a box collider again. Actually, it might be, no, we'll just continue with this since I started. It's a great tutorial. A lot of what you do is you're like, well, maybe it'd be easier if I just do this or do that. You'll never be satisfied. Okay. I drag this side down. I did name this right side and I'm putting it on the left, so don't mind me. I'll drag it over. And this guy is specifically going to be this part right here. Oops. Yeah, that should be good. Can actually just copy and paste it like I said I would. This one will be the right, the other one will be the left. That's good enough. Okay, so now when we go over all of our colliders, that's the head. I mean, aside from the spikes, like I said, I'm not too worried about that. Everything is good. You got some intersecting, which is fine. There's a tiny gap here, but the chances a weapon ever goes through that is very small, especially because other weapons have larger than paper-thin colliders. So that's what I want for the head. That's good. And then the handle, I just have that one collider, which we know works. So that's the colliders done. Let's see. And, oh yeah, that's right. So in your colliders, you want to go in here and you want to select physics. My physics material opened on the wrong monitor. So we got physics, materials. For my handle, my material is going to be wood. If you want things to be able to pierce them, you want to do normal wood. If you don't, then wood hard. For handles, there's also like, well, I thought that was a leather, but I guess not. For the most part, most handles are wood hard or they're metal. Now for the head, I have to go through and do each of these colliders manually. And I'm going to make them blade maul. Heavy, this really just determines what it sounds like when it hits. Heavy metal heavy sounds really heavy. So that's not, I mean, it would work for a hammer, but anything else, no, not really. I have it on a spear and it just sounds like I'm throwing a hammer around. I didn't even realize there was another material for hammer, but maul is what I want because this is basically just a single-handed maul. Or I guess a hand and a half, because like I said, you can use this with one hand or two. So that's all the collider groups. If you're ever lost, you can always click on this and it'll tell you things. And I scaled the wrong part of, when you are scaling things, I realized I did this wrong. When you are scaling things, never do your parent, do the model. This is an easy fix. You just go into model, copy all of your XYZ, and then turn this all back to 1. You'll just have to go through your colliders, which I wonder if I can just... Is it going to yell at me because colliders are resized? Nope, okay. So yeah. That's my fault. You can go back and fix that if you need to. You also need to move your parry point and stuff, which isn't the worst. Like I said, first video doing this kind of stuff. Not exactly a professional. Anyways, back on to what I was saying. If you ever are unsure what you need to do next, you can always click on your parent and it'll tell you. For example, it's telling me right now there's no handles. So we will do that now. We'll create an empty, name it handle. We're going to add a component, handle definition. With this, you want to change the length until it matches your handle. So I'm going to be probably about like 0.7, no. Or you know what, they changed it. So now you can just grab it and move them separately. In your touch radius, I try to match my handle. So I think 0.2 was close. Yeah, 0.2 is close. And then you want to just drag these. And you don't want your handle to go up here because then you can hold it by the head inside of the colliders. And then it just feels awkward. So there's a handle. Calculate reach used to work, but now it doesn't. You just kind of want it to surround your whole hammer or your handle. So my reach is probably a little bit too big, but I'm not really concerned because there we go, that works. Now you want to go into your parent, you want to take the handle and you want to place it right here, handle right. Oh, I keep forgetting things. Go back into your handle now, and allowed orientations you want 4. Then you want to set element 1 through 3 to is default none. You want to change your Y to 180 on 1, Z to 180 on 2, 180 and 180 on Y, and Z on 3. That just allows you to hold it differently. If you didn't do that, that wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just if you want to hold your weapon backhanded, you can now do that thanks to element 1 here saying that you can hold it Y180. Next thing you probably want is you want to make Parry definition. You can name these things whatever you want. It's just easier when you name it like this so you know what you're looking at. So you want to add a component, Parry target definition, and you want this to be your whole length. I'm actually going to add 2 of them. I've never done this before, so I probably wouldn't recommend doing this. Oh, I should probably rename this to 2. Because my hammer, because they'll only try to parry the center, so the head will hit them before they even try to parry. So I'm going to do this and that. So now I have 2 parry definitions. You should probably only have 1. If you want to try 2, you can. I will put in the comments if it worked or not. Actually, I will test this, so you can skip to the end and find out. So we got the handle, we got the parry definition, so you want to create an empty. You want to name it damagers. Or sorry. You want to name it, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to rename. You want to name it whatever damages you have. So I have a pierce for the spike at the top. And then I'm going to create another empty. And I'm going to name it blunt. You can make a parent file, like what I was going to do. You can damagers. I didn't mean to do that. You can just put them in here if you want to do that for keeping it organized, but for the most part, we're about done, so organization isn't needed much. So for your damagers, I have pierce and blunt, and I will go over slash for you. I won't put it on my weapon, but I'll go over it. So for pierce, you want to add penetration depth. I need to enable, oh, why is Z negative? I need to, okay, so it comes out of the opposite of where the blue is. So rotation 90 if your thing is upright. Rotation 90 will put it upright. So now, oh, I didn't mean to do that. My pierce shouldn't be too big. My pierce will be like 0.0. Oh, not 5. I can't even see it right now. Hang on. I think 0.05 was right. Yeah, that'll work. Then you want to drag it up here. And then it'll, oh, you want to set direction forward. I have it backwards, so ignore the 90 and turn that back to, well, now I need it negative 270 now. Or sorry, 270, not negative 270. So anyways, they will get pierced here, and they will go to the end of that yellow line. So they will push a little bit in. I don't even see where the yellow line starts. If I can remove the forward, I can probably see it. Okay, so I want that. The yellow starts right here, and that's where they will actually get pierced. So they'll pierce to about right here, which is good. Then for collider group, you want to select, for my instance, the head, your blade, whatever your damager is on. For blunt, you want that to be 0, well, you want damager definition 0, 0, collider group, head. I'm actually going to make 2 blunts. That should be in here. I'm going to just name that handle. We're going to add component damager 0, 0, collider group handle. These names are important because they are what you will refer to when you are adding damage to your weapon. So now that you've got that, we are going to do a slash real quick. I'm not even going to name it. So damager definition. For slash, you want length. So let's do 1, and then you want some penetration. You want small. Because what will happen is when you slash, say this is a blade, when you slash, they will go this deep into the blade on a slash. If that's what you want, then good. If not, you probably want to turn it down to like that. Maybe a little more, so like that. So that it's peeking out just a little bit. For your slash, you want either forward, which would mean that they are actually being slashed this way, so that depth is kind of backwards. Or you want forward and backwards, which means they'll be slashed both ways. Forward and backwards would be for like a thin double-sided blade. Forward would be for like your katana, your single-sided weapon. So that's slash. So we got that. I can't pause recording, but there's someone walking really loudly above me. So now that we got that, we've got our colliders, we've got our damagers, we've got the parry definitions, we got our handle. You should have your preview, holder point, and parry point. For if you want to throw your weapon, you want to add a fly reference. And you want to put that towards the top, and you want to, the blue is where it will fly. So 270. Oop. So if I threw it, the head would go. And then you want to drag that right here. And so that should be most everything. I'm just going to double check. But that should be everything you need. So we got our models, we got our holder point, parry point, preview. We got the colliders, we got a handle, parry, fly reference. Why do you have 2 handles? Oh, one of them isn't even being used. Okay. Well, that's the spear that I royally screwed up, but that I made the size of the weapon, or the size of the map. This one isn't, it's this one. Speaking of, I should probably pull this closer because... Okay, yeah. Because in the distance, it looked about the same size as my hammer. But that's how big I made that sphere on accident. Anyway, so we got everything here. So we are good. What you want to do is, you want to make a folder. I already did, but I'm not going to use what's in there. So, for example, the hammer, you want to make a folder for it, and you want to drag it in here. And so you should get this little thing right here. This is what it'll look like. I mean, it's just going to look like a 3D object. Down the asset bundle, you want to click new. You can try to type, it won't, so you have to click off, click back on, click new again. I probably already have an asset bundle for this, so... But you want to name it whatever, and you want to you want to remember that. So now that you got that, you want to click on Blade and Sorcery up here. Asset Bundle Builder. Mine opened up on my other desktop again. You want to click on the bundle you are making. So this is my bundle, the thing you just named. And then you want to build Asset Bundle. And then that'll run. And so in your File Explorer, you want to come to Blade and Sorcery Streaming Assets. You want to create a new folder. And you want to name it your weapon. Before we go into that folder though, we're going to go into default. We're going to go into items. You're going to find a weapon that is similar to yours. So mine will be the maul. You're going to copy it. You're going to come over, or you're going to go back to your folder. And you're going to paste. And then, oh, okay. So, ow. That was my fault on my textures. You shouldn't have an error like that, but I just forgot to click something on my model. That was nothing in here. So yours should be done probably by now. I think mine just finished, but we are going to come back to that. You're going to come back into streaming assets. You're going to go back to default. You're going to go to damagers. You're going to grab all the damagers you're going to use. So I have a pierce, which I will make a dagger pierce. You can control click to make this easier. I'm going to have damager maul, and then I'm going to put damager punch. Most people use damager handle, which is what you're supposed to do. I just find punch fun because if you hit them with the handle, they will fall over, which is more fun for me, but I mean, you do whatever you want. It's your weapon. And then you're going to paste them in here. I don't think I copied. I made a mistake. Oops. Let's try that again. Damagers. We got dagger pierce. We got maul. And we got punch. Copy. Back to my folder. Paste. So you got that. And now you need a manifest. I will put a link down below. Or you can take this from literally any other mod. There will be a Manifest.json. And then you want to paste it. And we will do that first. So you want to open your Manifest.json. You can use Notepad or Notepad++. I don't have ++ installed because I just formatted my hard drive. So I'm missing a lot of things. Anyways, you want to name this whatever your mod is going to be. So Kairos Hammer. And then you can put a description, your author, mod version. Game version, it's 7 right now. It'll change. You want to always have a manifest and a excuse me, and a weapon JSON for the version you are on. So I'm going to rename my item weapon Hamar. We're going to open it. You want to make sure that the version is 4 in this case. But now we are going to go to item ID right here. Name it whatever you want. Just make sure that it is a unique name. Your text is what it'll describe it as in game. And then here's your description. Cool. You want to change your author. All this stuff really doesn't matter if you are just modding to yourself, except for the ID. The ID is important, but like your text, your description, your display name, your author, that's really not too important if you are just using this by yourself. If you are going to upload the mod, you might want to put your own author name. You obviously want to describe your hammer or your weapon correctly. Slots. So someone explained this to me and I still don't completely understand, but I know that the maul can only be placed on your back. So slot 4 is only on your back. I believe they said 3 is on your back and your hip, and then 2 is just on your hip. So I want 3. And then I think 1 is you can't take it at all. Unless if you have like arrows is stackable, isn't necessary. Category, I don't remember exactly what that does, but then you got your storage category. You got like swords, you got axes, you got blunt, you got exotics. The S is important at the end. For blunts don't have a S at the end, but you want to do that. There's also like miscellaneous, but I don't remember if it's just misc or miscellaneous, like the whole word. So I wouldn't recommend using that. You got like potion, shields, all that stuff. If it's in the book, you can put it here. For your prefab name, you are going to, actually, we'll come right back to that. You're going to come into here. You're going to show and explore. You got your prefab. Go ahead and copy that. I don't know if this is necessary, but I copy it every time. And then you want to move that over into your mod folder. And then you want your bundle. This one I know for sure is necessary. And you want to paste it into here. So you're good there. And we're done with Unity. We will no longer touch Unity. So back on your notepad, your prefab name, the @ sign is your bundle. So you want to name it exactly what your bundle is minus the dot bundle. And the @ sign is necessary. And then you need a colon. And then you come over here and your prefab name. So mine is, and then you want the dot prefab at the end. I always make sure that I have capitalization and everything correct. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but it's something important. So all this stuff you can go through and kind of change on your own. I'm not entirely sure what is what. But before we go down there, you want to make sure that purchasable is true. I made a mod and forgot to change that to true and couldn't figure out why my mod wasn't working. So that was fun. So here's your parry default stuff, your dodge behaviors. Now we're at the damagers, which is the important part. They changed Unity around and I cannot find the whooshes for the life of me. Like I could try right now. Oh, well, they added a script. So if you want your weapon to make noise, you need to add this in, and then Blade and Sorcery, Asset Bundle, all that again. But, you know what, I'll just explain it, because when you update your weapon, you're going to need this. So you want your whoosh point at the tip. You want to rebuild. Actually, I may have messed something up here. I don't think I can cancel. It's pretty much done. I don't know if you need to go into your... Okay, you don't. So you're good. Just build the asset. And then you just show and explore. You find it again, copy and paste it back in. Just to make sure you got the new one. For bundles, you can have more than one weapon in a bundle. So say I wanted to put... Say this guy was complete. Actually, it looks like it is complete. I think it's just size strong. You could put this here, or not here, but you can put this into your bundle, like down here. Oop. So you can put it into your Hamar bundle, and then you can have two weapons in the same bundle, but you can't have two weapons with the same prefab name. So anyways, you rebuilt it. You want to show and explore. Copy this, come over to your asset bundles. Oop. Paste, and you'll replace it. So, because I was stupid and forgot something, there you go. You now learned how to update your weapon, if ever. If something changes in Unity, you'll have to change things. For example, these colliders, the collider groups, those are new to U7. If you have a U6 mod, you will not have collider groups. But since U7 is already on its way out. So your Whoosh, you can do this. I don't know all the Whoosh sounds, but you can probably find them and then change it. And then velocity needed to set it off. But here you go with damagers. I need to actually pull a damager. I copy one of these guys. So the order goes in is pierce / blunt. If you do not do it right, it will mess things up. So my first one, transform name, I named mine Pierce. Damager ID, Dagger Pierce is what I pulled into my folder right here. So Dagger Pierce. Next one is Blunt. This is my head. Damager ID Maul. That is right. Transform name Blunt Handle. I just need to delete the blunt. Damager ID Punch. You don't need the damager underscore, you just need the last part. So that should be everything in here that's done. So we want to save it and close it. And your weapon should be done at this point. I don't really have any video editing software, so I was going to kind of put in intermission and launch up my game, but I don't think that'll work. So I'm just going to launch up Oculus. Yeah, that should be everything. But I will actually just load up, or I'll find the manifest, because they have a manifest out there you can download. Or you can take it from another mod. I didn't mean to double click. But I don't think there's a manifest in here. Yeah, there's no... Oh cool, I found the experience points and how you can get them. Anyways, while I wait for this to load up, I'm casually just... Well, you can lose honor by doing poison, frozen, and other things. Throw decapitation. Well, you know I'm going to be throwing decapitations. That's what I like to do. So you launch up Blade and Sorcery. Have to load up. Whoops. I'm just looking through here still. Oh. I do have a lower end PC, so this might take a tiny bit of time. Sorry about that. I had to cough. Mute my mic. So first thing you want to do, for me at least, I'm going to set view to player because that's easier. And then you want to hit F8. And I am getting a lot of errors due to I assume the fact that I don't have my Rift headset plugged in. Are you going to stop giving me errors? No, you're going to crash. No, you're going to keep going. What is going on? I actually have no clue what's going on. That's unrelated to the Yeah, that's unrelated to the weapon. So I got errors for my katana because I deleted it. You're gonna come up here. When you click on things, it gets rid of them. So red errors. I don't have any red errors. So we go into the white. I got a bunch of other mods installed, so you want to find yours. Ideally, when you're modding, you want to get rid of all your mods so that you don't have to do this. That's my hammer. Found it. It added it. So it should be in the game. So you want to close that. And I'm going to move over to my VR headset. Actually, I can just grab it here. I need to plug in my controller. Or get my controller, so I'll be right back. I like to just keep my chair in my play area while I do this, because when you do test it, you can stay in your chair. Put my headset on. You can stay in your chair, and you can just lean over. Gotta wait on my headset now. Actually, should probably check to make sure that, okay. Because sometimes my HDMI, or my, display port disconnects itself. Yeah. The game is being, my Rift is being dumb, so I need to relaunch. There we go, now I got stuff, except it immediately went away because I closed down Oculus. Oh, yeah, I kind of need to do this. Okay, so we launch up Blade and Sorcery. We let that launch. This video is probably all over the place, so I do apologize. It's my first time doing it. I have gotten more comfortable the more I've gone on, so I will probably make another video after this. A better video, like a week later, when I find another weapon to mod. Or if, depending on how much feedback I get, I can live stream making a weapon. For your sake, oh, not spectator. For your sake, we are going to go into player view. We are going to put my headset on, and I'm going to lean into my play area. I'm going to grab this guy, who is a midget, because he is specifically for this. So now I can run fast while sitting in my chair. So you run up here, you come to our weapon, and I put mine under blunt, and right there it is. Oh, I pulled out a dagger randomly. So I can grab it all the way up to here, which is where I put it. Although my grabbing is a little awkward because of the way it is. I'll have to reorient some of my stuff. I'm actually going to stand up now. I'm going to go into a game. I like to throw all my weapons off before going into a map, because sometimes, I don't know what causes it, but sometimes when loading into a map with a custom weapon, you will, oh sorry, I'm probably really quiet. Sometimes when loading into a custom map, you will not spawn any enemies. That's not spear. That's awkward. Oh, that's because I put my blunts on top of each other. That makes sense. I didn't know what that meant when he said keep it at 0, 0. Where you put your blunt point, because there's no like pierce where I moved it up here. Where you put your blunt point is where it will show up on the book. So that's not really a big issue, but you probably want to do that. Anyways, we're going to load into a wave. I'm going to back up, and I'm going to get probably a little quiet. Yeah, because this is a weird way to hold a hammer, but I don't have my headphones on, so I couldn't even hear. So we're going to start with our pierce, which seems to be working, and he's running away. So pierce, I mean, considering I saw blood, it was working. It's not the greatest pierce. Probably can make it a little bit longer. Come here. Yeah, because it's hitting my blunt when I hit him that way. I have my sound turned off for the stream too, so you probably can't hear. Oh, you're still alive. But the reason why I like to do, are you going to run away? Yeah. The reason why I like to do punch for the handle is, especially when using like a spear, if you hit them with the handle, or I can just drop it. If you hit them with the hammer hard, or the handle hard enough, they just fall over. I don't know why I keep dropping. I think my reach is actually messed up. I thought I was doing 1v1s for a second. So my blunts work. One last thing I want to try with the force. I want to try my fly direction. Well, it kind of worked. I'm really bad at throwing stuff in this game. Come here. I'm just going to throw it like this. Slow-mo. Okay, so fly direction does kind of work. Don't take my hammer with you. Come here. Okay. Yeah, fly direction kind of works. I don't know why that went clean through him. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. Probably would want to turn reach up for my weapon, but that's the whole point of troubleshooting. But for the most part, I think my weapon's good. I just need to reorient handles. Okay, I think I'm done with the wave. But yeah, so things I should work on my weapon is increasing pierce and increasing my pierce length, and then my handles, which I will need to figure out how to do that because I actually don't know too much about the handle part. I'd imagine it is based on rotation. Yeah, so I think I'll end it here. But I'd want to increase my range a little, or my reach a little bit, so I'm 0.6. And then I'd try to figure out how to do everything. If you ever have to reload, like if you close down Unity and reopen it, you'll want to always unpack and then drag it back in, because if you don't unpack, it'll act like you can't modify anything inside of it. But yeah, so I'll need to figure out how to do the handles. I'll probably figure that out before I live stream, if I do live stream. But you now should have a working weapon. There's a troubleshooter if something doesn't work, or you can always comment and I will try to answer. I don't really get notifications all too often on YouTube, but you can always keep an eye out for it. But I'm going to fix this weapon up on my own time and let you guys go on your way with your new weapon. And I will end the video right here for now. Or not for now, because it's not like I can't undo it. So yeah, if you'd like to see a live stream of a new weapon being made, just let me know. Even if it's like 1 or 2 people, I will live stream it for you. If you want another more cohesive video, I will also upload that. I can upload my live stream. for the most part, I don't really have a set schedule for streaming, so anytime really works. And yeah, I will figure out how to do the handle part, or if someone tells me how to do it, that'd be nice, because all the other videos I've seen are kind of hit or miss or everywhere. But that should be all you need for a weapon. And I will see you guys next time, whether it's a live stream or another video.